The youth are the pillar of our existence. They make up over 60% of Liberia's population. They drive the economy. They power of the health sector, the education. Most of all,
Back to Youth Talk. My second guest is Abdurahman I.A Fofana. He's the founder and executive director of Liberian Youth Foundation. Abdurahman, welcome to Youth Talk.
Wow, thank you very much for having me on your show today. It's an honor.
Okay, what's the meaning of IA in your name in the first place?
The I stand for Isiaka and the A stand for Abu.
Abdurahman
Isiaka Abu
What a long
Fofana.
name.
I try to imitate probably some of our past leaders, the Chad D.B. King. Yeah.
Oh, welcome to Youth Talk.
Okay.
And let me say you have a very brilliant institution, Liberian Youth Foundation. So tell the public what is Liberian Youth Foundation. I understand the last time you had some sort of program with the U.S. Embassy and all of that. Let's talk about your organization. What is it about?
Well, Liberian Youth Foundation is involved in education, youth and children development, peace building, entrepreneurship, and advocacy.
Okay, youth building, entrepreneurship, advocacy.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the advocacies you've undertaken. What sort of advocacies are you into in the first place?
Well, we talk about the kind of advocacies we actually involved in. We'll be looking at advocating for human rights.
Okay.
That is few months back, we joined other youth institutions where we requested government to make rape as an emergency. And then we also look at the just usual in Liberia. We've been advocating times we add numbers. We went to the Capitol building to see how best they can make the drugs law non-bailable, and which we must appreciate the lower house. We hoping that the upper house can finally conclude on this process.
Okay, you talk about youth development as well. So Liberian Youth Foundation, apart from the advocacies that you carried on, what sort of meaningful contribution have you been giving to young people, or do you intend to do to young people?
Well, we have been into so many different types of youth development when it comes to technical skill, when it comes to soft skills, and the institution been doing this for the past 10 years.
Okay.
Since 2013.
Okay, so it was since 2013.
The institution was established.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we talk about technical skills, we mention like technology, digital literacy. We talk about interior decoration. We talk about catering. We talk about fashion design. We talk about tailoring. And then we also talk about soft skills. We talk about effective job application. We talk about work readiness. We talk about modern CV development, interview skills, and then entrepreneurship, which is very, very key now to the Liberian Youth Foundation.
If I get you right, you sounding like the Liberian Youth Foundation is a vocational institution, am I correct?
Sure. Yes, we provide vocational skills training.
Okay, so it means you have an institution where students or applicants or cohorts come and learn different skill training.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is it like? Do young people have to apply, or you do self-recruitment?
Yeah, we normally do self-recruitment. We sometimes do an advertisement or post it on our social media page.
Okay.
But the institution is a traditional institution now in Liberia. So most often, people who attend the Liberian Youth Foundations encourages others to attend, to the institution or to get the skill. Because most often when we ask our students, they will always say that we either, observe one of your graduates, doing well out there, and we otherwise to come and take advantage of the opportunity.
Where's your office located?
We are located on the Basottan Bob Taylor Road, Red Light.
Okay. So, are you currently in session?
Of course, yes. Last Saturday, we graduated the 13th cycle. We certificated some young people in both technology, automobile training, and soft skills.
Okay. So remind us again. I know you just passed through them. What sort of skill training are you providing there?
When we talk about digital literacy, today the world is cannot you cannot do anything in the world now without technology. And if you look at the Liberian society, we are way back, especially the time we launched the digital literacy under the Liberian Youth Foundation platform, where we realized a lot of young people, especially people who graduate from university, were denied job because of the lacking of computer skills. And we decided to provide skills or provide solution in that area. And which of course today some of our beneficiaries have been able to overcome that challenge. Then we talk about the fashion design or catering. We to get a job today is very, very difficult. And when we look at development factors, we talk about skill. A country can never develop without skillful people. So the Library Foundation thought it wise to include other basic or significant skills, which at least, regardless of you being employed now, you can be able to do something and earn a little something for yourself for sustainability purpose.
How many candidates you take per cohort, for example? I don't know how you run the institution. Is it 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months? How many students you take per class or per semester?
Well, we take minimum 25, minimum 25
for
each cohort.
Okay. So, for example, if somebody wants to, or you recruiting in the technical or technological literacy or computer literacy, so you have 25% per cohort.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it free of charge?
It's not 100% free of charge, but when we look at it on the skill level, it's free because of the fees people are paying for the program, and the fee is charged because of sustainability purpose. We don't have to sit down to wait for donors before we carry on the project. So we have to attach some fee to make sure that the program continues to exist.
Tell me about the reception, how young people receive your idea. Do you get them going to the youth day that bring you foundation to learn skills?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Every day, every day I receive a call, where we want to be part of the Library Foundation, we want to gain skills at the institutions, but we look at the space and also look at finance, right? We are really challenged when it comes to finance. So we cannot actually, accept everybody. So what we do, we manage as much as we can to provide a service for the little people we can have at the institution.
How long one cohort goes for?
3 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
Is it just initial, or you have an opportunity to do advance?
Yeah, you have an opportunity to do an advance, especially in the digital area.
Okay. So let's break it down. At which level are you teaching computer literacy, for example?
We have basic and advanced.
Okay.
Basic and advanced. And the basic level is very key to our program because it's the reason why we launched the digital literacy, right? At least every professional must have a basic computer skill. Okay. Imagine getting a degree, then you go to get a job, someone say, oh, sorry, we cannot give you this job because most of our work is digital. Right, so we launched the program because of that. But due to the passions or the advancement of technology, so we have added other advanced programs where people can specialize. Probably, maybe you want to be an IT specialist, right? So maybe you can be a database analyst, it could be an A+ hardware person. So that's where you go to do your advance. But for the basic, it's open to everyone.
You talk something that I want us to talk a little bit about. You talk about project proposal writing is a very good idea. How many young people you get coming to want to learn how to do project proposal writing?
When we come to that, which fall under our entrepreneurship program, there are a lot of people who, the entrepreneurship program is very strange to them, So they are not really, young people are not mostly interested in it, especially where we already have this mindset of getting jobs, seeking employment. If you look at the history of employment today and yesterday, it's actually failing, right? So at the Library Foundation, what we do for our trainees there is to make them understand that employment is not the way forward. The best way forward now is creating jobs. That is why we introduce the entrepreneurship and other basic soft skills or human skills for them to be able to do something after the training.
Okay. So do you get many young people coming to learn that?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, if you just join us, you're watching Youth Talk on the Liberia National Television, and my last segment of guests is Abdurahman I.A Fofana. He is the founder and chief and executive director of the Liberian Youth Foundation. So you said something like you just graduated your 13th cycle
Yeah.
of trainings.
Yes.
So when is the 14th?
The 14th is already in progress. The
Okay.
training is already ongoing. We hope in the next 3 months or 4 months, we should be able to certificate.
So every 3 months you certificate
Yeah.
a batch of
Yeah.
trainees.
But sometimes we go more than 3 months because the Librarian Foundation have a key objective, right? That people who enroll at the institution should be able to achieve the general goal. That is why you went there for. You know, we have slow learner, we have fast learner. So sometimes we go above the 3 months to make sure that the least person at the institution achieve our
Who are
general
those
goal.
you use as facilitators for the institution? Are they members of the organization, or you recruit them and pay them?
Actually, they are member of the institution.
Okay.
Yeah, they are member of
So
the
you don't have to
institution.
pay them much because
Yeah,
you're already a member.
of course. Sometimes we invite guest lecturers also, like people like you probably can come there while we're talking about entrepreneur, talk about communication, which is very key to every sector. We'll call you, say, oh, brother, come back and you come to our center and let's talk to our young people. You come there. So we try to bring innovation into our training.
Have you been able to seek support maybe from international partner or from local partner? Because to run this set of programs, they are capital intensive.
Have
you been able to seek any sort of support?
Well, we've been, searching for support, been visiting a lot of governmental agencies and international institutions, but we have not really been fortunate, right? We have not been fortunate. But, when you have passion for something, no matter what it is, you will always be into it. So we hope that one day people can recognize whatever we are doing here, to at least come and promote the institution. Because if you go to the Liberian Youth Foundation, you see what we are doing. If you really want to see young people develop, you really want to see transformation in Liberia, we won't hesitate to support the institution. Imagine for our digital program, when we started the program, we visited other agencies. In fact, we went as far as some high government official offices, but we were not successful. So what we did was to use scrap computers, right? Computers that people were no longer using, manage it, and started providing our services.
Okay, finally, what do you hope to, or where do you hope to see your organization in terms of your vision? Where do you hope to see the Liberian Youth Foundation in the next 5 years?
I hope to see the Liberian Youth Foundation as one of the major or lead institutions when it comes to youth development and national development.
All right, Abdurahman Fofana, thank you for being on my show this evening. And the LNTV family highly appreciate your presence and of course, Donage for taking up your time to be here. But that's all the time we have for this edition of LNTV Youth Talk. Until we have another time to talk to you, my name is Edward Tama. Donage was here earlier. Abdurahman Fofana is my last guest on the show, and he's from the Liberian Youth Foundation. It was really a pleasure having you. Until we talk to you next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
At the pillar of our existence, they make up over 60% of Liberia's population. They drive the economy. They power of the health sector, captain education. Most of all, they cement peace and unity. It's time for them to talk, worth talk with genuine expectation.
Join Edward Tamba every Thursday from 6 to 6:50 p.m. on LNTV.